This is a warning, brother. The sound that is about to play will contain graphic and foul language, yeah, but is intended to be entertaining, at least to some. Oh, yeah. If you are easily offended, yeah, don't have a sense of humor, yeah, or have your head up your ass, oh, yeah, this isn't for you. Everyone else, please try to have fun. And as always, the cream rises to the top and stay creative.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Bryan SilverBax Show. I am Bryan SilverBax. And with me today is Amos from the Just Being Amos podcast.
Yo, hey, everyone. What's up?
What's up, dude? We are currently in Nashville, Tennessee in a Night's Inn, holding pillows up to absorb some of the sound because this room is very echoey. And we just wanted to do a podcast on today because it's been such an awesome day.
Really?
It's been a day of note.
Yes, that's the word.
A day of note. It's starting to smell like matches in here.
I told you.
We're going to talk about our day that we had today, and maybe you'll be entertained, so stick around. All right, Amos, we is back.
Okay, yes, we are.
All right. Yeah, so we're here in Nashville, and we started the day in Atlanta, and then we drove to Hickson, Tennessee.
Hickson.
And then we stayed there for some hours.
Yes.
And then we drove here to Nashville because tomorrow there's a show that I'm a part of and that you want to come and just go deep diving, and you just wanted to come along for the weekend.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little vacation, mini vacation, what you call it.
Yeah. So this, for me, it started off as an obligation, and I'm going to do my best not to railroad. I'm not going to name drop what I did. So if people listen to this podcast, a month from now, it won't hold as, they won't be like, I know exactly who they're talking about. But so I signed up for an event today. I was invited to an event today at a comic book shop. And the comic book shop said, hey, we're going to have 4 artists out here, and we want people to come out. And I was one of the 4. So it was supposed to be like a big thing, supposed to be people come in and buying books and getting sketches and all that. And it started at 11 a.m. And so you and I got up this morning.
Yes.
You met me at my house around 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, 7:45.
And then we proceeded to drive the 2.5 hours to get here, or to get to Chattanooga, or to Hickson.
Yes, and you was bitching about the people driving.
Yeah, well, I go back to another podcast that I did. You give them 3 lanes of traffic.
Yes.
No one knows what to do, so they all just occupy that middle lane, and it fucks everything up. So that was what we were battling on the way to Hickson this morning. And then about 45 minutes into the hour and a half, or the 2.5 hour trip, my van starts acting up. And it starts going, oh, la, 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 la. Like it's very jerky, so I have to let off the gas.
Yes.
And then ease back into it, and still it starts jerking again. And then I just let it off. And then, so we made it to, so I was like, oh shit, you know what I'll do is, I've got almost a half a tank of gas. What I'll do is I'll stop at a gas station right by. I figured there'd be a gas station once I got off the ramp, and right there at Epicos, I would be like, oh shit. Right there at the comic book shop.
Yes.
I would stop at a gas station. I get one of those gas treatment things. So we pulled into the gas station. I was like, I'll get a gas treatment thing, and I'll pour it in the gas tank, and then I will top off with gas. And maybe I just got some dirty gas, or this will help knock some shit off, and I can drive better. I went inside the Circle K, or whatever it was called, and they did not have any. They didn't even have a spot to buy gas treatment. They had oil. They had 2-cycle oil, which is not even for a vehicle. That's for like a chainsaw or something.
Oh.
They had that, and they had some power steering fluid and some brake fluid.
But no
antifreeze.
No gas treatment.
But no gas treatment, no octane boost, no STP, none of that. So I was like, well, shit, I guess I'll just top it off with the high test gasoline because I never spring for the most expensive of the three gases.
I wouldn't.
I don't even know why they make the middle one. I think they should just either say you're getting regular or you're getting super. Like who is the indecisive asshole that presses I want the middle gas?
The middle gas they love.
I don't want to quite commit to that 10 cents extra.
Oh,
and
man.
I don't want to feel like a cheapskate, so I'm going middle. Like, do you use middle?
Hell no.
Do you know anybody that's ever, like, have you ever stopped at a gas station with any of your buddies and been like, watch them press the middle button?
Not of my knowledge. No, I don't think so.
Who presses the fucking middle? I'm under the impression that the middle button comes out of the same tank that the low grade button comes out of.
In the high grade.
No, it just comes, like they're both in the low grade. They just charging you more for that second one.
You think?
Well, it's just a mind effort.
It's conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy, dude.
Speaking of conspiracy, man, my wife is watching the Gaia channel.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that on the way here.
The Gaia channel is, if it's to be believed, is a channel that is basically telling us aliens are here, they've been here, they ain't going nowhere, and we're trying to tell y'all that they exist so that when it does happen, you're not caught with your pants down. So she watches a ton of that. You can figure out what shows, I don't know what it is, but it's craziness, the stuff I'm hearing.
So the Men in Black is this?
And half of it's believable. Like they're talking about jumping through stargates and all kinds of stuff. So there we are at the gas station. I top off my half a tank, and I'm like, all right, well, let's go to Epicos. Or, shit, I keep saying it.
Yes,
all right, let's go to the comic book shop. So we go to the comic book shop, and
you might.
I might want to bleep all those
Yeah,
names,
you might want to, dude.
because it's about to get hairy.
Yeah.
So if there was some paused areas back there, it's because I said names I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, you're going to have to edit some of that, buddy.
Yeah, so let me clap so I know when to.
There you go.
Now I'll know to go back and look past that clap. But so we get there, and this has been an event that this place has advertised for about at least 2 weeks,
Right.
maybe. I don't know. Not very hard. They didn't create any kind of flyer. They just kind of said it on their live stream that they do once a week, and I'm like, oh, really? Well, don't try to knock the walls down. Because they had people showing up on Friday, creators and artists. So they had people showing up on Friday and on Saturday. And Friday was Black Friday. Is that gas? Or is
Yeah, dude.
that's a car going down. We're in the Night's Inn, so we're right by like a freeway, of course. But
nice special effects, baby. Sound effects.
So we show up, and the reason I bring this up is because they're expecting us. They're not so much expecting Amos, but they're expecting 4 creators to show up with 4 tables. And the guy's like, oh, y'all, hold on while And so he's having to move all kinds of shit around. And we're there for like 30 minutes. Me and another artist are there for 30 minutes before it's time for us to like, all right, y'all can just grab a table. I mean, are you kidding me? Why was this not done before y'all closed shop last night?
It would make sense, right?
I'm not saying that I'm anybody of note, but what if I was comic creator X that was, kind of a big, oh man, we can hear that pretty good.
I'm good water.
Yeah, well, you'd act like you'd never drank before.
Man, I'm thirsty, dude.
I was about to make a joke, but I guess I will.
Do not make a joke.
I'm
going to chew the ice. Keep talking.
Oh, Amos, you're making this into one of them podcasts where they make noises into the microphone and try to give people a boner.
Keep going.
My bird just went from 6 to 12. So we get up, and that just felt like, really? You guys couldn't have done that last night? It just felt like it was kind of half-assed. And then so we get to the table, and I set it up, and I'm like, all right, there's 4 people here. This is a singular comic book shop. There's not going to be a terrible amount of traffic. So I don't need to pull out every one of my pieces.
Well, it's not your first time coming to this shop, right? Doing something like this.
No. The last time I came here, it was me. I was one of 2 that were slated to be here.
Right.
And the other person didn't show up. And then it was just me. And I had one customer all day, and that customer was an employee.
Yeah.
But I thought that was that. Now, I knew that they didn't advertise that at all. So I was like, all right, these people see, like, they see the shop seems to have a social media presence and a crowd of people that follow them, but they have 2 locations. And it's, every time I see them talking about anything, it's at location A. But the today's event and the other event that you were speaking of were at location B.
Oh.
And so I don't know. So that was my experience last time, and I just chalked it up to lack of advertising. I was like, all right, well, at least I've talked about this for a little bit, and I noticed that they talked about it for the past week on their live show, so maybe somebody will come out. And there's 3 other creators going to be there, so maybe people will show up.
One would think.
Yeah, that's the way it's designed.
Yeah.
So the doors open at 11, and I don't think the first customer enters the building until maybe 12 or 12:30.
Close to 12.
Close to 12, and they're there to get Magic the Gathering stuff, and then the next couple of people come in, and then they go sit down, and they play board games, and then this other guy goes around, and no one even walks over to the area where we are, and we're by the bathroom, so these guys got to take a dump at some point, but they held their shit, so they didn't even have to come by us. So it's tough, man. It's tough. So we're there from at least 10:30. Well, about 10:45.
Right.
10:45. We wait 30 minutes. Or no, we got there early. So we got there early. So we got there around 10:30 is when we're setting up. And so now it's approaching. Let's just fast forward. I want to cut some of the bullshit.
Right.
It's 5 o'clock. It's 5 p.m. This is closing time. Not one. Oh, no, I take that back. I had a guy walk up to my table who had already purchased 2 of the comic books that I'd done covers for.
Yes.
And he just asked for a signature and wanted to talk to me. And I was like, cool. Well, he didn't buy anything. So he just got 2 free signatures and walked on. That was my only interaction with a customer
right? Yeah.
for the entire 6 hours. That was my only attention to a customer.
That's tough.
Because that other guy that was talking our ears off, I don't know that he was a customer. He just wanted to come in. He's an artist, so he kind of just came in and wanted to talk to everybody.
Yeah. He had a good story.
Yeah, he was fun to talk to.
Yeah, he was.
But I don't think that he came to buy anything from anybody. He came to socialize, talk about art, and share progress and stuff like that. Man, how thirsty are you, dude?
Come on, man. Water is good for you.
Oh, shut up, mister. I drank some fake Gatorade.
Come on, don't be hating on the Gatorade, man.
So those are the only 2 people that were not part of that. The only 2 people that interacted with me.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
The one employee customer that bought something from me the last time I was there bought something from the 3 other creators that were there today. And that was their only customer.
Ooh. That's tough, dude. That's tough.
So after 6 hours, and not one of us had a customer that was not employed by the business, we didn't get fed. They offered us beverages while we were there.
Right.
And we did not. That was it.
Yeah, I got you.
That was terrible.
Got you a nutty bar. Yeah.
Nutter butter.
Nutter butter.
Yeah, let's not get your vocal cords all.
Let's
not try not to confuse them. It's a nutter birdie, dear butter nutter. It's some butt nutter. Oh, that sounds disgusting. That sounds like a sex move.
Damn.
Nut butter.
Ooh. We ain't gonna talk about
butt
that.
nutter. A butt nutter.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Butt nutter. Boom, 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 boom.
But yeah, man, it was tough, dude.
Yeah, that was painful, man.
Man.
So I did 2 sketch covers just so I wouldn't go stir crazy sitting there.
Well, I did come away with some books.
You did do some long box shot, or you did some deep diving, but because they did have a nice sale. I mean, it is
they did
a holiday weekend.
Yeah. support the local. I mean,
support small businesses, but
yeah.
nobody supported this small business.
Yeah, it was no.
So on top of the van acting up on the trip up here, and knowing that I would have to deal with that again because our plan was to leave that business and drive about 2.5 hours to the next city that I had to be in, which is here in Nashville. Well, let me just go ahead and start by I'm leaving the place that I was at for 6 hours, and all I have to show for it is $30 less in gas and a big fat waste of time. And what makes it difficult is that I like the people of the shop. I like dealing with the shop, but this is strike fucking 2. Of me showing up and receiving zero interaction. So I like next time they come calling, what am I like? I'm going to have to be like, hey guys, I've got better things to do. Like just sit at home
and work on your book.
Yeah. So that sucks. And I don't want to do that because they're nice people. They've commissioned me or worked for me before, and they've worked with me on projects before, but I just can't. I cannot do a 2.5 hour one-way trip from my house to there.
With zero.
So that means that's 5 hours of driving. 5 hours of driving and nothing, man.
Zilch.
That sucks. So with all that in mind, we get in the van and it's still acting up, but it's now starting to rain.
Whew, man.
Well, first off, while we were loading up, because I had to break everything down and put it back in the van. As we're putting the last 2 items back in the van, the drizzle becomes water balloons from the sky.
Big drops.
like almost knock you out. Like it's like boosh. Like you're getting hit with a damn water balloon.
Yeah, it was big drops, man.
So I was like, oh, dude, it's starting to get dark. Let's just go ahead and head towards Nashville because we'll probably drive through the rain. And then we'll get to where we're going, and then we can go find some place to eat.
No, it did not happen that way.
Well, no, but the GPS said 2 hours.
Yeah.
And 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know how long it took us to get here, Amos?
Took us 3 hours and 30 minutes.
3 hours and 30 minutes.
Yes. I'm keeping track, man.
And let me break it down for our lovely listener.
Right.
No, you notice I went singular. Our lovely listener. Because the rain quickly turned into some hail.
Briefly.
And there was lightning, and the rain did not stop. And your windshield wipers couldn't move fast enough. So everybody on the highway decided to... Oh, you know what? I skipped a part.
What's that?
I skipped the part that when we pulled out of the comic book shop, we took like 18 different back roads before we got to the highway.
Oh, man, it was awful.
18 different back roads, like through subdivisions, through country roads that didn't have a center line marked on them.
2 squirrels jumped in front of you?
Yeah, one, and we're like, oh, shit. And then 2 seconds later, boom, ran the other way. I was like, if these motherfuckers don't know it's raining, they're just going to have to... I'm sorry. I am not swerving on a rainy road that's going winding through the hills here in the fucking boonies. I'm not going to do that for a squirrel. I'm sorry, buddy.
2 squirrels at that, man.
No, I'm not doing it for 1. I'm not doing it for 10. They could be holding hands talking about hands up, don't shoot or whatever. I'm running them over. Hands up, don't drive. Hands up, don't drive. Beep, beep. Let's go. But so
that's funny.
We're doing this. And so it took us 25 minutes or so just to navigate the 18 back roads before we got to a interstate or a freeway or what. I don't think it was an interstate, but it was a bigger road.
It was a freeway.
And so we finally got on the road, and then that's when the torrential rain started coming down. Everything up to that was just kind of big water balloons. But
then that lightning was really close, dude.
Bright, and the sonic boom.
Yeah.
And then the way my van was going, la 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 la. So I had to keep slowing down. And then the guys in front of me turned their hazard lights on.
Right.
And apparently the new cars have the brightest hazard lights in the business. Because it's basically like somebody with yellow headlights flashing backwards with a rain-covered windshield. I got whee, 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 whee. So I have to like focus up, focus up, focus up, focus.
Yeah.
They didn't make it very easy.
No,
They didn't
did not.
realize that their hazards are doing nobody any good. Just keep driving, you dumb. And then they still don't know how to drive. They're still in the middle lane and going. The slowest people are in the middle lane, and the other two lanes are competing for who's in first. So
Yeah. Well, on a positive note, we was listening to some music on my.
we did. You did take us on a trip through retro music.
Yes,
Most of it was rap music, but we did go pretty retro. We did some deep dives.
Yes, we did. Yes,
We did some deep dives. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, my phone just went boom.
Digital Underground. Yay.
Oh yes.
Yes, sir.
With the Shock G and the Humpty.
The
All
Humpty.
around the world, same song.
Yes.
So, but that's what kicked us off. And then it was like, oh yeah, you remember this song? And then Amos would play that one. I'd be like, no, check this song out. Type this one in. And so that was what kept us going through the rain.
Yes, really.
And it was bumper to bumper traffic for about 7 miles. And then there was no accident.
That was
Just
weird.
bumper to bumper, and then all of a sudden, boom, here we go. And then so we drive around. We drive for another 20 minutes, and then boom, we're bumper to bumper again for another 12 mile or 20-minute stretch. And then we get to the end of that, and it just opens up. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? And it's still raining, and it's still miserable, and I still didn't make any money.
Shush.
I'm just so disappointed, man. And then, so we're driving along, and we get closer to Nashville, and it's time for us to start getting off. And as we get off the interstate, I don't know what interstate it was, but whatever we get off on,
65.
there's like turn right and then immediately left and then turn right again. So there's all these, like, as soon as you make this turn, 2 seconds later, you're making the complete opposite turn. So you have to turn right and then immediately go 3 lanes over to the left and then make a left. And then once you make that left, you're making a right and it veers to the right. But here's the trick. There's 3 lanes that are off to your right. 3 different roadways off to your right. Mm-hmm. And the GPS lady says, stay to the right at the fork. Motherfucker, there's 3 roads to the right. Which one? And it's raining and it's wet.
And this is still the same street.
Yeah, and they're all all the same names. But here we go. I'm telling you, it's a little bit late now, but if President SilverBax ever gets to the White House, President SilverBax will make it law that every road in the United States will have those reflector frogs on it. There is no reason why any roads in America do not have those reflective safety frogs to help us navigate in the rain and in dark.
Yes, I agree.
There's no excuse for why cities and states and even them little boony ass roads do not have these things. That is a safety issue. They're worried about drunk driving and people on their phones, but the second it rains, people don't. Another fucking drink?
Yeah, man. Can I drink it, please?
It's not even like it's an alcoholic beverage, man. It's water. We've been talking for 23 minutes, and you've had to take 3 sips.
It's good water, man.
You haven't even talked for more than 3 sentences in a row, and you're doing all the drinking.
Yo, I can't drink any water? Come on, man.
I don't know. You have a podcast, and you have not even tried to, like, filibuster anything here. Can you add to this conversation at all, Amos?
No, I'm really enjoying the conversation, man. I like you ranting and stuff like that. I will say I feel your pain. I'm not an artist. I mean, I know it's very tough on
What's
you.
that noise?
A truck. Oh, no,
Is that
that's
the
refrigerator? That's the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, we're at a Night's Inn. Oh, I think I said that already.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
This is actually a decent...
Not bad.
Decently...
I got one thing to say.
We haven't checked in yet in my story. We haven't made
Oh,
it here.
okay. Damn. I want to say that part.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
All right. Well, Amos, so we finally arrive to the Night's Inn after some turns and navigating the multiple right turns, and then we pull into we look into the most hotels have that little covered area where you can park and go check in. So we do that, but it's very narrow. It's very janky on the outside, the way that the turnaround is with a chain, and there's not enough room to execute a full U-turn.
Yeah.
Like you have to do a 3-point turn once you use that drive-through. So we look inside, and it's clean, it's bright, it's vivid. I would have thought that we were at like a Hilton resort, like a nice, just looking in that entryway. And I was like, this can't be it. I go inside. I tell the guy my name. He never checks my ID or anything. He just hands me these keys after I sign the piece of paper, and I'm out. He said room 2 something, and then so here we are in room 2 something.
Yes.
And then we sit down. We're like, for $75, we got 2 beds, a mini fridge,
a microwave,
like a 20-inch TV mounted to the wall. I'm not sure
it's crooked
why
too.
they bothered mounting the 20-inch Vizio to the wall.
It's not even HD.
No, well, the signal's not HD.
Yeah.
Maybe the TV is, but that's it. I mean, we've got a microwave, we've got a desk, we've got a recliner.
But
you make it to the bathroom. You've before we go further, before we further go into the bathroom, that sink that I'm looking at right now, like it's to the level where I could place my penis on it, and with zero effort. And I'm not a big penis guy, but it is so low. Like normally, it's up to like your belly button area, well, not your damn titties.
Yeah, the midsection, dude.
But normally it's up it's probably up about 8 more inches than this is.
Right.
So I could perfectly place my penis on. I was like, oh man, this place is built for a midget. A small person.
A little person?
A little person.
Yes.
Is it small person or little person?
I think it might be little people.
Big world, little people. Okay,
I don't know,
right.
man. Everything got to be political correct these days.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to put the frogs in the roads, and they're huge. The frogs in the roads are going to be huge.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be big. It's going to be amazing. All right, so I see the sinks, and I'm like, what's going on? And then you make a discovery of your own.
Yes. So I go to the restroom, check out the toilet, see how big the toilet seat is.
Is there a problem with toilet seats normally? Like, is there? Do you normally have a problem with small? Have you been in places where there's a small toilet?
Not really.
Well, why did you check it out? Is what I'm saying.
No, I wanted to check it out, see
if there was any turds in it.
Yeah,
any condoms floating around.
So make sure it's clean.
All right. Was it?
Yeah, it was excellent.
All right.
Nice. Excellent.
Wow, like you can eat off it like Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirty.
Joe Dirty.
Dirty. So once then I checked the shower in the tub, right?
This thing's not. Keep going.
It's done shower in the tub. So look at the shower head. I'm 6'1", and the shower head itself, I would say about 5'2". So you got to actually like bend over and take a shower. I got to bend my back.
Yeah, like the shower head normally is at least at head level, if not a little bit above for us 6-footers.
Yeah, right.
But this, I believe, like if you backed up into this, I believe the shower head would punch you right in between your shoulder blades.
Right here in the back.
Like that's the height of it. So can you imagine, like, let's say we're an independent wrestler.
Right.
And we're Andre the Giant.
Oh.
We're the Big Show. We're Kane. We're the Undertaker. We're anybody who's 6'5" or more.
Whoa.
Can you imagine checking into these hotel rooms where that bitch is basically a bidet attached to the wall?
Yes.
Just floss that ass.
Damn, dude. I'm gonna have to bend my. Oh, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to do that now. Well, after I got one more shit left in me.
Man, make sure you take one more dump, man.
I'm gonna try.
Man,
all right,
go before I go in there.
So that's our hotel room, and now we're like, you know what? We've had a full day of being bent over. Let's go get some Mexican food.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And so we're like, let's look up Mexican food around our hotel. Is this a hotel or a motel?
Motel.
I think this is a motel.
Motel.
Because our doors are on the outside.
Motel.
Otherwise, it'd be a hotel.
Yep.
All right, so we're at the Motel Hotel Holiday Inn. And we say, I say Mexican food around us. And it says, there's one right around the back of the parking lot. So it's still kind of raining out. And I'm like, Amos, my vehicle's acting up. We'll just walk. So we walk. Oh, the guys upstairs are having some white trash argument. I can hear them.
Hey, how are you white trash for, man?
Because we're at a motel.
That's just wrong.
I didn't see any shiny rims in the parking lot, which generally means...
Don't.
All right, I'm just saying I didn't see any shiny rims. I saw pickup trucks in the parking lot.
Well, we see one truck taking up a whole fucking parking lot.
Yeah, he's pulling a camper.
Yeah.
I don't think urban people drive campers.
No.
Most urban people don't have campers.
Mostly elderly people. Or
method, fucking Breaking Bad shit.
Walter White.
So we walk around. I was like, I convinced Amos that we'd walk around and only get a little wet to go to I forgot the name of the place we were going.
I forgot.
But we walk around and we walk around and we walk around, and there's not a building there. I'm like, damn it.
Only thing was a brew company.
A brewing company that had one car in the parking lot. I'm like, fuck that. But there's no nachos there.
Yeah.
So we turn around, we walk back to the van and say, hey, Siri or whatever the fuck your name is, tell us where some nachos are. And they said, dude, there's nachos 4 miles away from you at a place called Oscar's Tacos. I said, all right, let's go to Oscar's Tacos. It's got 4.8 stars on the Google Maps or whatever. Let's do it. But then I forget that we are in Nashville, sir. This is a big city. Yes. So in order to do that 4 miles, I have to get 5 different roads, and I have to get on 2 different expressways. And back to the multiple road names that are, like, go to the traffic light and make a right, and then the road is the same exact name.
That's crazy.
So we finally navigate the city streets because, it's one-way streets and stuff like that, like it is in Atlanta and probably most big cities. Then I see that the next traffic light, our destination. So I'm like, we need to find parking because there doesn't look to be a whole lot of parking here.
Right.
So I turned down a one-way street knowing that we just have to backtrack a little bit. $10 to park over 30 minutes. Holy shit, these better be some good nachos, man. I'm like, Oscar better have that shit on point. And earlier I had said to Amos, I was like, Amos, we've got nothing to do. We don't even have to get up that early tomorrow because we're already in the city we're supposed to be in.
Right.
We're going to take our time and eat these nachos and fucking have a good time and chill out. So we find Oscar's. On our way to Oscar's, we pass several other places. There is nobody driving on the city streets of Nashville.
And this is the weekend.
And it is 7:45, 8 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock at night, y'all. Not more than one car in a row anywhere. There's nobody walking. There's nobody riding those scooters. No. I see those little electric scooters laying around, but nobody's on them. And then so I'm like, are these like we passed the subway, and the subway was closed.
Yeah, it was closed
at 8.
Right, what
on
the hell?
A Saturday night. This is the jamming night. Saturday, the day of the week, Saturday.
It's crazy, dude.
So right next to that subway is Oscar's Nachos.
Yes.
We're like, we've made it. I go to open the door, and the sign on the door says, Monday through Thursday, closing at 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday, we close at 9 p.m.
What kind of establishment does that, man?
In the city.
In the city. That's what I'm saying.
Drunk people aren't even hungry until maybe like 10 or 11.
Right.
12. You know? This place is in the heart of the city and closes at 9 p.m.
Fucking crazy.
So I was like, all right, well, Amos, I guess we're going to have to eat these nachos pretty fast. So we go inside and we're greeted by a girl who wants her name to be Lakeisha.
Tasha.
But it's not. Her name is probably
Becky.
Kimberly or something. But she thinks...
Or Samantha.
Samantha, yeah. No, she's probably like a Heather.
A Heather? You think she's a Heather?
She could be. What's the Catch Me Outside girl's name?
Oh, shit.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
So that's Cassandra or something. I don't know. But so we give her, we go in there and we kind of look at the menu, and there's no anybody in here who is not an employee. And we look at the menu and I see nachos, but I only see chicken nachos and surf and turf nachos. And I'm like, ooh, if I eat surf and turf, that means they got scrimps. And that's gonna make my gout act up, and I'm gonna have a terrible day. So I said, let me get some chicken nachos. But what other kind of? She's like, oh, well, we got steak nachos. I said, well, why is that not on the menu? Then she's like, we also got chorizo, we also got sausage, we also got pork, we also got ground beef. I'm like, where's all these fucking options on the menu? I said, name off the meats, and I will tell you which ones I want on my nachos. So I ended up turning my $9 nachos into $19 nachos.
Yes, you did.
Because I was like, add some meat, add that meat, add that meat, add that meat, add that meat.
We got the meats.
Yes, sir. So I got the Arby's meats all on my nachos. And they were actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah, they were.
And I didn't even finish them. I'm proud of myself.
I know I didn't finish mine.
Yeah, but you know what? I think part of it was subconsciously I knew that I didn't want to pay for parking. So we get our food to go and we bid the ladies farewell inside of the Oscar's restaurant.
Yes.
Oscar's Tacos. We walked down the hill past all the, never mind, past nobody.
No, we just saw pipes in the road.
Just some pipes and some construction shit laying out.
A forklift left behind.
Yeah. And so we get in the car and I get up to I look at my parking ticket that I left in the van. We are 35 minutes into our stay. Well, if you stayed for 30 minutes, you only had to pay $4. Mm-hmm. If you stay over 30 minutes, it was $10.
Damn.
So we get ready. I'm like, I'm going to tell this down. I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, dude, I'm going to play the military discount. I'm going to say, hey, what's going on? Well, there happened to be a car in front of us in the checkout.
Yeah, you said that too.
And then when we pulled up, I was like, dude, man, you had us waiting in line for like 5 minutes. And it was 35 minutes from the time that was stamped on the card. I paid $4.
Cha-ching.
The only win of the day is the $4 that I had to pay to park.
Yes, you're right.
And then I started getting this rumble in my tummy. I was like, oh shit, Amos.
Oh boy.
Those nachos are fast acting to acting.
I don't think it was the nachos.
So then we're driving and we hit a little bump. I was like, oh damn. We just knocked a shit loose. Amos, I need to get to the room.
Yes.
And that is where we're going to end this story. Because tomorrow is a brighter day, isn't it, Amos?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Tomorrow is a brighter day, and we will do well because tomorrow is a comic book and toy convention.
Right.
The toy part has me hesitant because toy shows I generally don't do well.
Ooh, I'm so glad you said that. I might find me some Transformers.
But we'll have some other people here, like JR will be here. Mm-hmm. This podcast won't air in time for anybody to listen to it and come out.
Right.
JR, Dustin, Shane. Jason, and maybe a couple of others, people.
People I probably know.
Hopefully, when you listen to this, you will have seen pictures of us having a great time, and you'll see me like Scrooge McDuck jumping in some money. So I thank you guys for listening, and maybe a lady, but I thank my listener for listening.
One listener?
Maybe one. Okay. We'll see. This could be the possible farewell show for the Bryan SilverBax podcast. I think I'm going to do one more and like recap how much fun I've had and stuff that I've had to do and the things that I've had to accomplish and the trials and tribulations of what I went through to do this podcast and why it no longer will exist because it's not fun and I only want to do stuff that's fun.
Hey, you're always welcome on my podcast.
Yeah, but you don't live close enough for me to fucking ride out there all the time.
Fuck it, man. Come on, dude. You could come your friend.
Come pick me up. I'll phone in. I can phone in. You can phone me and I'll do everything. But so thank you, person, for listening. Because I know it ain't many.
Come on, man.
Thank each and every one of you and you for listening. And whatever you do. Thank you, Amos, for being on the podcast.
Oh, you're very welcome, Bryan.
All right, now I'll finish.
Okay.
Stay creative.
It's almost